This is Millie in the City for Beyond Me, the show on Clear Productions TV, radio network, and oh my God, I am super duper excited because with me today I have the iconic songstress, Grammy, AMA, Soul Train nomination, and platinum artist, the beautiful Karyn White. Hello,
Hey,
how
I'm,
are you?
hey y'all. I'm so happy to be here. How you guys doing?
Uh, Amazing. Now that I thank
Oh,
you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Okay.
girl, I'm not too busy. I am not too busy, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. You know, I haven't been to Richmond, Virginia in a long time.
Long.
So look, y'all, we got a lot of catching up to do, right?
We got a lot of catching up to do. You just don't even know. The first thing that I thought when someone said that I could interview you, and I was so excited, I thought to myself, the women of the generation at the time, we were so busy looking at our little black books, right? And we should have been
Um,
looking at the playbook that you gave
woo,
all of us women. We didn't listen to it. Did we not? You gave it to us.
girl,
Did you not give
look.
it to us,
That
girl?
is so dope. You know what? And you're right. Look, what did I know? I'm with y'all. I'm 22 and 23, singing about songs that really it was my truth, but I didn't really know what it really meant to say I'm not your superwoman. I was too young. What did I know at 23? Singing about being in a relationship and being treated you know, not as the queen you're supposed to be treated. Not yet, but definitely make him do right and here comes the pain and all the songs, right? Just I'd rather be alone than being happy, the anthems. And I'm so happy that my sisters feel me because I really love my sisters because I feel we are beautiful, resilient. I mean, I'm really in awe of women. Really, they some bad Mickey Fickies. Y'all some bad Mickey Fickies.
I'm gonna start using that. I'm gonna start using Mickey Fickies.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
if I could, if it's okay.
Oh yeah.
I love it. And speaking of the playbook, you said, "What did you know?" You're saying this now, but if we had followed it, I think we all would have just been better off growing up as young women and just saying, "Look, I'm not just superwoman," but you sang this song from the depths of everything. How did we know you didn't know what you were talking about? 'Cause
Right. I'm not gonna say that. Let me rephrase that. I'm gonna say I was young and I hadn't experienced all that most women that really resonated with that song. I mean, people were telling me, I've been married, my husband's taking me for granted, in Japan, they're starting this whole movement over there. I'm like, wait a minute now. I'm not a feminist because I really love being in love and I love relationships and men. So we definitely want to honor the men. But this song is really just saying don't take me for granted when it really comes down to it. It's like I'm the love I'm giving you, I want to give it back. I want you to give it back. And I want it to be gotta be equal, right?
yeah,
At least,
it's
right?
not. It's not. It's
I
not.
know.
But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so
And
close to it.
yeah. And so really that's what I'm saying. But I'm glad that the women, because even the little girls, that song was sang by so many, some of the young girls that tell me they didn't know what they were singing about eggs over easy and all of that. It was just so cute. But it's like it was the blueprint was there. So, you kind of grow into that. You know what I'm saying? I know I did because when I talked to Ellie and Babyface and Daryl Simmons, and I'm like, wow, like why did you guys give me that song? They saw me as a superwoman. So
Hmm.
sometimes you have to grow, especially songs, because they find you. Like you in order for a song to be a hit, it's got to be truthful. People got to really feel and believe you. So we talk about 30 years later, I'm every bit of that woman because I've been
Yes,
in some
ma'am.
failed relationships, just like y'all, stepped away from the business, stopped believing in myself, all of those things. So I had to like get back up, get back in the business, and just really love myself enough to give, to let that little girl in me blossom again. And even though I had been hurt. And I like to say this because it wasn't Terry Lewis, because I was married after Terry Lewis. So I like to
Okay.
make sure that I know he was an incredible man. But yeah, but been in some other relationships and I'm like, what in the world? So I've been there too. So even the superwoman fell off her throne. It's all
So
right.
I get it, but you look amazing. I'm
Thank
wanting
you.
to know, could I be like you when I grow up? You are gorgeous.
Oh, thank you, girl. That's and another thing we talk about, being a woman and all of this just beauty on the inside. It's so important that we forgive, because a lot of women, they hold a lot of, and people in general. I'm not going to just say women, but we get very bitter, and to me, that's what makes you that ugly person. So I'm going to tell y'all to do the work. The Superwoman has done a lot of work: therapy, counseling, prayer, scriptures, on my knees, and no, really, and I'm really thankful, that God has really restored me to come back and to be a light to all of my sisters, because I really feel like it's my ministry.
And I was going to say that because I feel like it's very, very spiritual
Yeah.
also, because you're like, you started off early. I can't sing, but and you were like, okay, we were like, okay. And then you were like, okay, we were like, we make that, okay, we making it. And then you just went, you exploded. We were like, it was just very churchy in a way,
Right.
very
And
gospel.
another thing I'm going to say that a lot of women have told me, just me being a brown girl, I think it was so important to see themselves. They didn't really see themselves a lot on during that time, and so they were like, wow, we felt beautiful, like you made us feel beautiful and seen. And I was like, wow, it's all the things that, you know what I mean. And
Well,
me being
yeah,
in the, it's so crazy, but I was like, I totally understand what you guys mean, because I dealt with it being in the entertainment industry. So but I never did not feel pretty, because I felt loved, and just, I never was, how some women in this business, they have all these horror stories with men and stuff. God really just had me protected. I feel like I had a shield around me, being to where I always got the respect from men, from women. And I was kind of more like the chick with guys. I love being like their big sis or their little
right,
sis, or, just I wanted to be in there with the guys, my band, So it's kind of like I was kind of like a little tomboyish, I'm gonna say, but
right.
I'm glad that I just had a lot of protection around me.
Right. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
All
This is
right,
the Beyond
girl.
City. This is Millie in the City for Beyond Me, the show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond Me, the show with Millie in the City. We're going to continue talking to the beautiful songstress, the iconic, the beautiful Karyn White.
Hey, hey.
We are back. We are back. We just
We
had
are
so much.
back.
Yeah, we had so much conversation about empowerment and movement, but I wanted to get to just a few facts because I got to give you your
Yeah,
flowers.
let's.
Why?
Okay.
Why you were here? You were the first female artist to have the first three solo releases from your debut album, the hit number one on the R&B charts. The first. Okay, I
Yeah.
that's I mean, how did that feel?
Girl, you're so busy doing the work. That didn't happen until like later, because I wasn't that. It had time had to go by, but I'm like, really? Janet didn't do that? Whitney? I still can't believe it. But it was on their debut album. So, because I know some people were disqualified like Anita Baker because she was with Chapter 8 and
Mhm.
whatever. I'm just gonna take my flowers and say, yes, I did that, and I'm grateful.
What I also thought about is, and going on what you said, you worked with so many titans of the industry. I just, it's was it divine intervention that you knew that we were going to go through these things, and you were our voice as brown girls.
I'm gonna say it was, because little Karen White, I was, a prayer warrior, and I had faith, and I mean, I really felt like God was really directing my path. Through my journey. My mom, being spiritual, my grandmother, she was a pastor and had holiness church. So I've had prayer all around me. And it's just a life. I really was about my business. I was very driven as a kid. Love being around talented people, even if it wasn't me being the upfront. I like putting together groups. I just love the entertainment industry. And so I'm going to say it was divine intervention. And I believe me coming back to the business after 18 years, all of this was orchestrated. And to see the success that I'm having right now, it's been a lot of hard work, you guys. But I really, I feel like, God's hand is on me, and to even where I'm releasing new music. So we'll talk about that too.
So I really still think that you were a titan for you were at the height of everything, and you walked away. That just takes strength and tenacity because not too many people would do that. I know I heard an interview with Beyonce, and somebody asked her what was her greatest achievement, something like that, and
Mm,
she said being a mother, and
mm.
they scoffed at her, and I thought, bravo, bravo
I
to you.
know.
Is that the way you feel as well?
Yeah, well, look, shoot. You know what? I'm not even gonna say a mother. I'm gonna say a great mother.
Oh, amen.
Look, because the standard, you know, my greatest achievement, yes, yes, I feel like definitely being all of it, because my daughter, she's the one who encouraged me to get back into the business. She's like, Mom, you've run out of excuses. At first, it was like, I went through a divorce. I didn't want to have both of, her and Terry. Somebody had to stay home. And then it went, I just kept making excuses. It was really fear and trepidation just of what of how I felt. I didn't feel like I felt like I wasn't needed in the music industry.
Oh wow, no.
Yeah, so I feel like I made my mark. So, but as time went on, she graduated from college and was going. I mean, not from college, but from high school. And I just ran out of excuses on why I wasn't doing it. And I started to be an executive producer. I was doing reality TV. I
Hmm.
was executive producing, and every time I would go into a meeting, this is how I started, girl. And it would be these big wigs too, and they'd be like, "But what are you doing?" I'm like, "It's not about me. It's about my artists." And they were just like, no, no. Can we talk more about you? And I'm like, so it was the weirdest thing. And my artist was a rapper. Do you remember the group The Silvers at all? They were popular with the Jackson Five and the Silvers. They were young. So
Yeah.
yeah, my partner was one of the sons of Edmund Silvers. He had 11 sisters and brothers, all by different mothers. And so we were putting
Okay.
this was the reality show. We were getting all the sisters and brothers together because they were all talented and beautiful, and they were going to come together and try to make a band and all that. But so anyway, that's what started. And as I would go, and they would just I just kind of, like I said, ran out of excuses, and I was like, I think I'm really fearful, and I've never been fearful my whole life, and so I just did it anyway. My mother used to tell me that, okay, it's afraid to be scared, but do it anyway. So,
Right, right, right.
yeah.
So I want to take you back to sixth grade. I do.
Okay.
I want to take
Take
you
me
back.
back. Come on.
Okay. Sorry, I got excited. I got excited. Sixth grade. You said I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be amazing. I'm gonna be big. You spoke your success
I
into
said,
existence.
Karen White, will succeed.
Oh,
That's what I said in my validation speech.
oh my
Not
God.
validation, but valedictorian.
Valedictorian. I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna say nothing. I was just gonna let it play out. And is it something that if you can remember just was in your spirit?
Oh yeah, it was in my spirit. But you got to know, like as a kid, I was okay. First, I was a track star, so I ran. I was very very athletic, and I did that. But then I kept getting cramps, so I was like, I can't do this because I can't rely on my body. For some reason, I keep getting cramps, and I would like be right. I would be winning, and then so I'm like,
Oh,
no, I
oh,
can't. So yeah. So then I always sang in elementary, and I would always ask to sing or perform at the talent shows or at the PTA meetings, Martin Luther King Day, any whatever. We
but
put
anything.
together anything that I could do, put together a group. So it wasn't really a surprise. My classmates, they really knew that I really loved it, and I was a go getter.
Right? Is it true that you were a background singer for Johnny Gill and Pebbles?
Oh, well, I wasn't a background singer for them. I sang on their albums. So
Albums. They
yeah,
got it
their
wrong. That's
first
why I
album,
asked. I
Johnny
didn't
Gill,
think you
I
were.
sang like Feel So Much Better, and I forgot. And then also a lot with Bobby Brown, Tenderoni, and Every Little Step. Yeah, so in Pebbles, I sang on her records. So yeah, it was just because we all had the same producers, LA and Babyface, and
Right.
we lived in LA, and so they'd be in, one session over here, and I'd go over there, and we were a big family.
Good terms.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to take one more quick break and we will be right back. This is Millie in the City for Beyond Me, the show. We'll be right back.
You boys want to call one? Sure.
You know she meant the cake, right?
Okay, some things are meant to be silly, but choosing web interactive technologies to host your business online is like the opposite of silly.
They'll work with you and build your custom website.
And the search engine optimization? Finding your company will be... You get it.
As a business, you have to stand out. We're just pointing you in the right direction. Choose web interactive technologies. Don't be silly.
Welcome back to Beyond Me, the show. I'm your host, Millie in the City, and I so honored to be on with the beautiful songstress, the icon, the seamstress, the queen of New Jack Swing. As I found that out, Miss Karyn White. Yeah,
Don't
I was like,
forget.
yeah, you
Look,
got
y'all trying to forget about my up tempos I have now. Wait a minute. I know we love Superwoman, but y'all know I gave y'all some bangers and some
you
dance
did.
moves during but no, it's so fun because when I go to when people come to my shows, I take them back and they're like, "Oh my God, I forgot." I'm like, "Yeah, y'all don't put me in this ballad category."
Yeah, I didn't forget. The way you, okay, can't sing. I got it. I got it. You broke into film. How was that?
Girl, that was amazing. Let me tell you what film does for you. If you
Okay.
can, first of all, I took acting lessons and I would have to be in front of, they didn't care that I was Karyn White. I didn't care that I was Karyn White. I was a student and I wanted to learn. So we're all in class, it may be about 40 people. You have an assignment. And so you get on, do your scene, and they're like, okay, well, this scene is about, betrayal, or it's about, whatever it's about. Where are you pulling from? So you have to tell, okay, this is from my life. You have to be very specific and put your business all out there. But it was really cool because that's truth. And acting is really real life. So I loved it because it made me a stronger performer. And it was, like I said, I had to start, in front of the whole class and just grow and learn. And then from there, I met my partner, Derek Muhammad, and we did, we would go on these auditions. And I did some things. I booked some TV shows, and I was on Centric. There was a
Yeah.
show called Beauty and the Baller. I
Yeah.
had a part in that. That was on for a season. But then we were like, we want to do something ourselves because we're living in the age, like, because you have your own show, that we can do anything we want. We have the worldwide internet,
Absolutely.
right? We can build it and they will come. So we did that with acting. We hired some students from Morehouse.
Mm.
They are award-winning students, and we put together a budget, and we went to Sacramento. We did a film, and it's loosely based on my life. It's called Gale in the Storm, and it's
Yeah.
on. It's actually on Tubi TV right now. If y'all want to check it out.
I will.
And yeah, so it's about a legendary funk singer who steps away from the business at the height of her career, and
Huh.
she hooks up with a revolutionary music producer who is my manager, and he tries to get her back into the business. So that's what it's about. Y'all should check it out. I'm very proud of this little film that we did.
We'll definitely be checking it out. So you are performing tonight because I caught you in your dressing room. You're in
Yes.
Richmond.
Yes, finally. I'm in Richmond, Virginia. Sold out show.
Yes,
We're
it is.
excited about it. And so a lot of my music, this catalog, I'm going to just talk a little bit about the great, like you said, the titans that I work with, the, LA and Babyface, the Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Anita Baker's producer, Michael Powell. These are some of the producers and writers that I co-wrote with. So I have a lot of songs on my album that should have been singles. So we'll be playing a lot of this great, rich music.
Okay.
But they were so busy trying to make me like the Black Madonna, Madonna. So they were like, so instead of, because I had a manager who used to manage George Michael. And so he wanted me to go more pop. So on my second album, you'll kind of see I was maybe a little bit more pop, but
Yes.
a lot of that meat was left on the bone with the soul. So when I'm singing these songs, people are like, "Oh my God, I didn't realize that was on there." So anyway, I just like to say that the show is well rounded, though. It's very high energy. I love these are my influences. I love Tina Turner, James Brown, Prince, Michael, Isley Brothers. So those that's kind of the feel of the show. It has all of those kind of elements. Oh, and also Diana Ross. We gotta give
Fabulous.
we gotta give you some fabulous diva moments, right?
Diva.
Yes.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
yeah. And I'm excited. I want to talk about. I don't know if you knew I had a new single out. It's coming out on the 15th. But I want to make sure. Hopefully, can we get it to you so you can play a little bit of my sample of my video?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, because the girls are like, "Oh, that chocolate is glowing." So I would love for you to see the video. The song is called "You're Gonna Want Me Back," and
Okay.
I think it's another anthem for men and for women. And
Okay.
at our age, and just being more seasoned in life, you gotta just let it go. It's not even about being upset anymore when you done gave everything you can give.
Right.
You just like, I know I was good to you. I know who I am.
Right.
I'm just gonna let it go. What's for me is for me. You're gonna want me back. So I want us women to take ownership of that, especially as we age. And it's like there's relationships that don't make it, right? And you're like all this time. So love yourself enough to let it go, and you can say you're gonna want me back and feel good about it, and be the best version of yourself that you can be, right?
So I know you have to go on soon, and I won't keep you, but I do have one last question.
Go ahead, Millie.
All right. What do you wish was true for the 2025 women?
Oh,
What do
I
you
thought
wish
you were going to say A, B, or C. What do I
Nope.
wish
What
was
do you wish
true?
were true for us in
Oh
2025?
man,
For
sisterhood.
Yes.
I wish we could love each other more,
Yeah.
and we could support each other more as a culture, not even just women, just in general.
Absolutely.
Once we get together and are able to, be like other, because I go to South Africa and they're different.
Yeah.
they just love on each other more, and we're just, I don't know what it is. I do know. We know what it is. We
I
all
know what it is. We can't
look,
say it on this one. We don't have enough
we
time for
all need some look, we all need some therapy. Like
that. Therapy.
what's her name? Mary said. Talking about therapy, right? But yeah, let's start there. And it starts with us just, respecting each other, loving on one another, and not, just knowing that we all we got, and we really better start coming together because
Yes.
we all we really got.
We all we really got.
Look, I don't know how that wasn't poetic, but y'all know what I mean.
Yes, it was. Yeah, that was poetic. And I really want to say thank you. I know you have to go on. I know you don't do much before your show, so thank you for speaking with me this evening. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Millie. It was amazing time we had together, and thank you for honoring me and giving me my flowers. And I want to tell you, congratulations to you and your show. You keep going. You know what I'm saying? You keep
Thank you so
let me
much.
know if I can help you get some guests on here. Because right now, I can hook you up with other artists as well too.
Gonna hold you to it because I already got my list.
You got your list.
I got my list.
Yeah, no, go ahead on, please. Yeah, I definitely would love to do that. I love helping entrepreneurs, and I love what you're doing for the culture. You're not on here being messy. You're actually giving us our flowers, and we appreciate that, especially us legacy artists. Thank you for remembering us. Thank you.
You are so welcome. This is Millie in the City for Beyond Me, the show. Bye-bye.